Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Art City Comics, the world-famous Art City Comics. This is CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. I am Adam AF. Joining me tonight, we have the editor supreme, the real Steve Dye.
Hail, brother. Hail, Adam.
Hail.
Thank you again, brother.
We're also joined by the Magic Man, the Wizard, the Gat Hanzo.
Hail, brother. Good to be here, and I always like coming on the show, bro.
Hey, it's always good to have you here, man. We've also got my brother from the north, Mr. Simon Sim Potier.
Hell yeah, CG Jumpstart for the win.
Hell yeah. Comicsgate for the win, brother.
Yep. Hell yeah. You know, you see, like we were discussing in the back in the title of your show, DC and Marvel are falling. CG is winning.
They definitely are. Some big things have happened over the last 2 days, and it is muy no bueno for the big two, and muy bueno for Comicsgate.
Yeah, at least right now, anyway, right?
At least right now, that's right. Hopefully we'll have some other people joining us as the show goes on. I don't know where the fuck all the other guests are. They said they'd be here, and well, they're later than we are. So we're just gonna get to it. We're gonna have some fun and talk about some shit. So first off, the first thing on our agenda, we have Gad here, of course, and Vestige is in demand. Gad, you're getting ready to ship this bitch, are you not?
Yeah, next couple days it's going to be a madhouse around here. They're supposed to show up tomorrow. I got some type of notice of the shipping being clearing customs, so that's good, right?
That's good.
They should be here tomorrow. If everything goes as planned and the corona doesn't sabotage us. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a madhouse. I think the first books will probably go out Friday. I know. Here's the thing. Here's what I got to do. I have to contact the local post office and see if I can't arrange pickup of some kind. And I'm just going to have them come pick up a couple hundred at a time, I think.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't know, man. I'd rather not go into the plague land if I can avoid it, right?
That's we cannot have our star writer of Comicsgate picking up the coronavirus.
Let's hope not. I mean, I think I'm pretty healthy, but yeah, man, I don't want to risk it.
Nah, man. Hey, we got 3D Robin in the chat. He says, Vestige.
Yes, bro.
Also joined by Triple R. He says, YouTube is bugging out tonight. Bad. Well, that sucks. YouTube's been having some major issues with all the goings-on that have been happening lately.
Steve and God, did you guys hear what happened to CG Manga the other day?
No, what happened?
You guys just got bugged out.
We got like taken down in midstream, right? We're talking about Fist of the North Star, right into it, and we're all prime, and then we get taken down by getting flagged, right? So
Really?
I made an appeal, right? I complained, made an appeal. And the message was quite simple. It was like a bot, like a random, like a company bot, not the one owning the IP of the Fist of North Star.
Yeah.
Claimed the rights, and and my video is not allowed to play in Vatican City. That's the only place. That's why I got banned.
You don't have an audience in the Vatican anyway, Sim.
My channel's not allowed to stream. My channel's not allowed to stream in Vatican City anymore.
I don't think your core audience is there anyway.
No,
to be honest with you.
No, I don't think you got much to worry about. I mean, that sucks though. You know, you hate to have to, shrink your audience down by the Vatican, Vatican City, man.
That's weird. Is that's
really weird?
Random thing, or is someone figured out a way to use a YouTube kind of loophole to get your channel banned?
I think what's going on is a correlation of two things. I think first of all, it's pretty fucking random. Because I think that they've just got a bunch of bots. It's not people at the controls. They're running on a skeleton crew. I don't think that there's some sport. I mean, personally, I don't think that there's a YouTube conspiracy against Comicsgate or anything else. As far as I know, let's hope not. But I think
I'd say that's the least of their worries at this point. To be honest,
at the same time, there's a shit ton of weirdos that have nothing else to do than to sit here and complain about, whatever else.
That's true. Everybody's off work, just bitching and moaning about Comicsgate right now.
You know, the usual crew of degenerates that are anti this and anti that, and you know that there's a, you know, the whatever. I don't even want to really get into it, but I don't doubt at all. I've seen enough streams taken down midway through for no good reason that, you know, there's people out there flagging, and you know, there's
Yeah.
I think that's
Yep.
going on.
We got Vault Cobalt in the chat. He says, "What the hell did you do to piss off the Pope, Sim?"
I don't know. The warning was for scam and spam. I'm like, okay, I'm going to appeal this. And yeah, the Vatican doesn't like me, it seems.
Schemes and scams, huh?
I do have a vampire comic, and we were talking about Fist of the North Star. That's like, and we did say in the thing, like, you know, it's like a personation, like an imagine he's some kind of like Messiah type of guy character, and then we got taken down. So maybe they didn't like that.
Oh, maybe that's a dirty word. I hope you just didn't get this stream struck. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Must be taken down.
We also got Wilberforce Woosters hanging out with us. He says, "I want pictures of all those vestiges."
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, definitely take pictures as you're fulfilling. I think that's kind of part of the fun.
Picture of the guy in the truck too.
I was
totally.
I was telling Gat last night, I was like, brother, think about it this way. You and I have been up to our ass in vestige for a year now. And come tomorrow, you're going to be literally up to your ass in vestige. So happy days.
Yeah. It's a tall task ahead of me. But
I like it that it's coming in on a Wednesday, bro. Takes me back to the good old days.
Yeah, man, do Comic Book Wednesday.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Comic Book Wednesday. You know, it's Christmas Day every week. Go down to the LCS, RIP, and you know, get your comics. So
it's just like I was telling you guys. Like at this point, I'm like mentally exhausted waiting. Right, I just want to like get the shit out there and get it over with at this point. Get fulfillment over with. That way we can move on to Jumpstart. Right. So.
I mean, I'd like to say something to CG. All the people that are like worried that, you know, with all of this, like, you know, people, you know, might not want to buy books and stuff like that. On the contrary, people always need entertainment, and especially in those moments.
Yeah, man, that's actually why you had to jump the gun. We're not quite there yet. Hold on to that thought.
Part of it. Okay.
We're gonna pimp the merch for another minute.
Yeah. Hold on to that. Hold on to that thought there.
But to me, it's a good sign. Like Vestige, I cannot wait to get my copy, and it's coming. So it's like, you know, stay positive. That was my segue. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyone who out there who bought Vestige, I'm starting from the top tiers down. Basically, people who got the head sketches and the original art will be receiving their books first. And then I'm kind of working down tier wise. So if you just bought a single book, you're going to be the last person to get your book probably. And that's just because it's going to take me the longest, and I'm probably going to have someone come over and help me in order to speed up the process. But in order to do that, I want to go by tiers. I think it'd just be easier keeping it organized that way. And I feel like the people who paid the most money, I mean, it's almost like they deserve to get their stuff first. I mean,
I think that's pretty fair.
Besides the fact that it's easier on me, it's just, I don't know. I think that's the only fair way to do it. You know.
No, I think that's
in the end, it's not. Sorry, Adam, but in the end, it's not a tough call at all. I mean, you know, there's a part of me, and you know, I'm sure Gat, we've talked about it. You know, where it's like we want to get it out there. We want it in as many hands. We want it out there now. But yeah, you know, at the same time, the people that backed at high tiers, the people that, you know, really showed their faith in the project, you know, they deserve to get theirs first too. So
yeah,
hail that.
You know?
We got Kevin Splady in the chat. He says Donald did the sketches already.
Yes,
Question?
I have the sketches. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have the sketches. I do have the original art. The only thing I need to do is figure out how I'm going to ship the original art. I think I'm going to have to put it in separate boxes. Of course, I'm not going to be able to Gemini it. And I need
if you
to
fold that
put
original
the
art,
original
you're gonna get.
Yeah,
raped.
well, that's what I'm saying. I need to put the original art in something besides plastic in a backboard. I'm going to put it in a little harder cellophane or something like that to kind of keep it safe. So yeah, I have to think about how I'm going to do that still, but that's 10 people. They'll be receiving actual boxes from me. Everyone else, I think the head sketches are going to fit inside the Geminis just fine. So
Oh, nice. Excuse me while I open a beer.
Yeah, no worries.
By
But
all
yeah, I
means,
think
brother.
I think all those are going to fit pretty nicely inside the Gemini. I don't know how it's going to work as far as 2 books with head sketches if anyone got 2 books, but I might have to ship those separate just because. I don't know. I want to make sure everyone who orders their stuff gets their stuff and it's in as pristine condition as possible.
Yeah. We got Just a Kid from Brooklyn. Says, "Hail, brethren. Everybody in the chat, if you could be so kind and to share this out to your socials. YouTube has been a real bitch about notifying when live streams go live. So if you could share this link out, get some more eyes in here, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it." Kevin Splitty also says, ask EVS how he sends original art.
Yeah.
Oh, and Wilberforce follows that right up. Says, watch Ethan's videos about how to send original art. He did it all on cam once. It's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, yeah, I figure I can figure it out anyway. I'm just gonna buy the correct equipment to place it in. That's basically something that's gonna keep it sturdy. It's not like I can just throw it in some regular plastic. Of course, it's oversized, and I mean, we're gonna want to protect it.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, suffice it to say that we have polled the experts. Yeah, that's good advice, everybody. That we've done that, but they got determined to do it the best of the best of the best possible way.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the merchandise itself. Vestige number 1, sitting just over $81,000, going into shipping any day now. You are leaving the in-demand store open because you got some extra copies, but once those are gone, the EVS cover is never going to be reprinted, correct?
That is absolutely correct. The Vestige 1 EVS cover will never be reprinted. I think, we had talked, we're in kind of preliminary talks about how to handle Vestige 2 campaign because it's coming up, and we were kind of thinking about maybe depending on how many of the originals we have left to sell, that we do a Vestige variant, Vestige 1 variant to go for Vestige 2 in case people want like all 3 books. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We don't really have someone in mind. Well, actually, I have someone in mind who I want to try to get for a variant cover. But
we got somebody in mind.
It's only going to be fucking amazing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to waste my time with bullshit. Let's put it that way. If we can't, then yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. I had kind of said I don't want to do any variant covers, but with this being that it's already been delivered and people haven't, it's not really.
Well, this is a true
original campaign either, right?
Yeah, this would be a true second printing variant.
Exactly.
This isn't just cover A, cover B, cover C, cover D, cover E, so forth until you have 12 variant covers on one campaign.
I hope that it grows to be an imperative, but for now it is at least important that Comicsgate will continue to grow, and we will have people come in and maybe they weren't, the EVS cover, absolutely Caesar, one time only, get it while you can, but we need to keep the story available to people that were misfortunate enough to arrive at the party late.
Speaking of arriving to the party late, we have Phil Diaz has just joined us.
Hail, brothers.
Hail, Phil.
Got ramen there, brother? What are you doing?
I got some chicken noodle soup
and
grilled cheese. I came ready, brothers. I don't know.
Fighting the corona, aren't you?
Carbo's already hitting Chicago? Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
of course it is.
Worked its way all the way inland. God damn it.
So I think it's very important if you have not gotten in on Vestige yet, make sure you do so. Even if you have, it probably would be wise just to grab an extra copy because the resale on this is going to go through the roof with this being the only time to get that EVS cover. So, spread the word, get yourself some extra copies. It's going to benefit you in the long run. And probably if you buy 2 copies of Vestige 1, I guarantee you could sell one of those copies to pay for the upcoming Vestige 2 campaign.
Probably,
and I can tell you, knowing Gat, you don't want to miss his coming out issue.
Well, yeah, that too. Well, also, I want to make sure everyone knows if we do basically another cover for if we do another cover for Vestige 1, I don't know that we're going to do perfect bound and all that. I don't think it's going to be the same even, right? So the book itself will be a little different. I mean, it's still going to look the same interior wise, but just the type of book that we send out is probably going to be a little different.
That's not a bad idea either. You got your perfect bound volume for the first print, and then just go to a saddle stitch for your for any subsequent printings after that.
I think that's what I want to do. We're also talking about breaking it into floppies one day, as far as because how it's written. It's 2 24-page floppies. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like a direct edition. Yeah.
It's definitely written to be able to be broken into 24-page floppies. That's kind of something that we believe in and prescribe. At the same time, maybe it'll be re-released. The thing is just to keep the story available. At the same time, preserving the rarity, the collectability,
the exclusivity of the original, and making it like a really
both things are important. We have to reward the initial backers, the people that believe in us from the beginning, believe in Gat's story. And then, at the same time, Gat's story is so good that we need to make it available to people that, again, just because we keep the bar open late in Comicsgate, you can show up after midnight and still get a drink.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's true.
I love that you guys are having it able to be broken up into the floppies. I think, even though, people are putting out trades, same thing with me with Magic Cop. It's in 4 chapters, and it's like 20 to 24-page chapters, so you could break them up into floppies, because this is comics, and comics, that's the basic, formula for comic books are those floppies. So
it's the same thing with
people want them broken up, we can do that.
Dude, I got countless milk crates full of floppies. I love floppies, but I also love graphic novels. I got bookshelves full of graphic novels. It's just kind of an
like Gat
inversion.
was saying.
Yeah, it's just kind of an inversion.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Yeah, you could, if you do it in another campaign with floppies or release them someplace else with floppies, you can get different covers from different artists and, expand your audience that way as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's striking a balance between there is a proven existing Comicsgate model.
It's the reason why
Caesar.
It's also the reason why Bloodhound's technically split in 2 chapters in the book.
Yeah, well, I mean, other business models may emerge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in conclusion, I guess I'll say this about Vestige 1: it's fucking coming. It's this last couple months has been a pain in my ass because it's been the waiting game, and I hate it. I probably hate it it's just as much, if not more, than the people actually waiting on their books, So it kills me too, guys. Like I literally hate it. And yeah, I mean, the process going forward is going to be a lot smoother. I'll tell you that. All this Corona shit will get fixed too, and everything. It'll go back to fairly normal, a fairly normal world. So don't worry, brothers. This shit moving forward, Comicsgate's going to be fine. I don't know about the industry, but Comicsgate will be fine. Anyway,
yeah, true that.
Yeah, in conclusion, like I said, tomorrow night, John and Backhold is going to be Vestige. Like I told the guys, we're going to be a little greedy for once, and we're going to do our own stuff, right? So
That's
I can't wait to see whoever shows up, the artist. It's every person's dream to see these characters drawn by 6-8 great artists, right?
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to enjoy my night, because then this weekend I'm going to be working my ass off shipping Vestige. So everyone show up tomorrow night. We're doing a great and also there's going to be a big announcement about Vestige 2 tomorrow night as well.
Ooh.
So
oh shit.
On top of that, it's a huge announcement. Actually, we've got
Spoilers.
a couple announcements.
Yeah.
There's going to be a couple huge announcements concerning Vestige 2. So maybe even 3 or 4.
Spoilers.
Wait, are you revealing the artist tomorrow?
We're revealing the artist.
Spoilers.
Shit. This is pre-spoilers, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to reveal when it's launching. We're going to reveal cover artist, maybe.
Ooh.
And I may even hint around to, I don't know, talk a little bit about the story, I guess.
Oh, fuck. Let's just tell everybody right now.
We're going to wait till tomorrow. We're waiting until tomorrow.
Fuck's
It's
sakes.
the big night, John and Backhold, So I can't wait. It'll be huge. So everyone show up. Everyone that's watching now, I'm sure they watch John and Backhold anyway.
So as soon as this gets out into people's hands, then you guys are finally launching CG Jumpstart. The whole reason that we put this little show together.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't even get a break at this point. We're going straight into Jumpstart.
I don't know what the fuck you're thinking.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. It's actually going to get crazier than that after tomorrow when you guys hear the announcement. So, yeah, we're going straight into Jumpstart. It's what's the percentage done, Steve? Are we 95, 99?
99.5%.
Okay.
We need about 300 words from a certain Gaylord.
Okay.
And we need, 150 would be fine. Frankly, 300, that's going to be tight. And also, 3D Robin, Hell 3D Robin, going to need a little help from him on a certain very important promo placement that's going in the magazine. Other than that, I'm sick of looking at those files. They're done. We're moving towards that business model of having things complete, and Jumpstart is complete.
Goddamn ready to print almost, then, is what you're telling us.
I've got an outstanding ad, and I've got and that's your ad, by the way, Gat. And then other than that, I've got one outstanding column, and I'm not going to belabor that.
Well, we all know who that is.
Yeah, there you go. Other than that, dude, there are only 2 hyphenated words in the entirety of Jumpstart. That's how long. Nobody wants to hear the minutia, but I'm telling you, there's 2 line breaks that there's really nothing I can do about it, and they're just staying there. Other than that, the kerning is dialed.
That's amazing. That is impressive, brother.
That is awesome.
I removed one from your piece just today, Phil. I was like,
Great.
fuck, I missed
Thank
that
you.
one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought I had them all, bro, but I've been through this thing with a fine-tooth comb so many times that comb is clogged up. We're ready to roll with Jumpstart.
So yeah, I think once we're gonna get the pre-campaign page up. I'm gonna say by next week.
Awesome. That's exciting. And then it's gonna be fun promoting that.
Yeah, well, maybe by this weekend we'll pull it off. But yeah, I mean, we're launching beginning of April. I would like to go before 420, even though I do look at 420 as a good luck day. Personally, It was the day we launched Vestige.
I was going to say that is when you launched Vestige.
Yeah, and it's also my favorite holiday besides Thanksgiving. So,
oh yeah, bro.
Would be my favorite holiday, and just wanting to get this son of a bitch out in the wind. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Maybe
now,
oh, sorry, go on.
No, you go on. Say more good things about it.
Yeah. Maybe if you launch Vestige before 420, you could do some special announcement on 420 or a big stream or something to celebrate it.
420.
Yeah.
I can't even get Ro to give me a stupid column, let alone to get back in the bathtub so we can.
Got to get it back in that bathtub.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting the Gaylord in the tub for launch for Jumpstart.
I can't even get the column.
I don't think it's gonna happen. We might be able to get him to drive through Ottawa, though.
Wilberforce brings up a good point. All of April is 420 this year.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, all of every
year's
420, but yeah.
I like Wilberforce Wooster. That guy, he lends a level head, common sense to the discussion time after time.
And we got Metal Movies and Brewskis joining us as well. It says, "Hail Comicsgate Strong 2020." Hail, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Hail.
I also seen Commie Mark snuck into the chat as well. Hail, Commie Mark.
Hail, Commie Mark.
So
for hail, and I'm going to hail Vault.
Well, I already hailed Vault, but
everyone.
you can hail Vault again. Hail the entire chat. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah. Hail
we are taking this is a little diversion from our normal Jumpstart stream. We're actually going to kind of talk at some news at hand. Obviously, I'm sure most of you have heard by now that Diamond Comic Distributors has closed their doors. They are not shipping. They are not taking in any new orders from Marvel and DC. The 25th, tomorrow, is the last week that I believe we will get new comics, and that's a big deal for an already struggling industry. But we want to talk about how Comicsgate is basically going to be the only thing left standing once all this dust settles.
Hmm.
What do you guys think of this?
Hill.
I think that it's a good sign that, for CG. We won. We're winning because
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
we're not dying down. Our campaigns are still going. Look at Ethan.
Yeah, we've been winning, for a long time, and this is just the sword in the industry's back. They've been killing themselves, and now this is kind of seems like the final blow. Diamond not putting out any more comics, that's a huge, huge thing. And Marvel talking about cutting back on the creators and all that stuff. But we're still creating, and Indiegogo's still pumping out comics with us. So it's the best thing for us right now. And I love the evolution that CG has gone through. And everybody talks about OG CG, and now we've turned away from the point of we're not going to be pointing out flaws that they're doing anymore, and not urging the industry to become better like they used to be, because we're a new industry, and they could go crumble under their tower while we're rising ours up.
Yeah, we're becoming the new main.
Yeah.
Well, the metaphors run rampant in my mind.
Mhm.
Crumbling towers, castles made of sand, all that sort of thing. On the one hand, you've got, in some ways, the foundations of where Comicsgate finds itself now, which is the Ete Brute moment with Caesar, and how you have to, look out for who you embrace as a friend. At the same time, I'm reminded of, I believe it was Truman Capote that says, or wrote rather, a true friend stabs you in the front. So it's rough for me to wrap my head around. I don't want to see mom and pop LCSs go under. We touched on earlier that GAT's going to get Vestige on a Wednesday, which seems really appropriate to me because there was a time when every Wednesday was like Christmas in a way, because
For
there were
sure.
new comics at the store. And I don't want to see the corner gas station go under. I don't want to see the corner grocery store go under. At the same time, it's the big two, and to some extent IDW and some of the others that have really stabbed Comicsgate fans in the front. And I don't think that's a true friend at all, because our friends are no longer steering the ship. Now it's a bunch of people that we wouldn't have a beer with. I don't know. Again, the metaphors swim in my mind.
That's true.
And also, I need more beer.
All right. I definitely do not. The biggest, the punch to the gut of all of this really is the fact that the LCS is going to be the ones that hurt the most out of all this.
Yeah.
They're not going to see any kind of bailouts that the government's going to shill out to the big businesses. Some of them have already started closing their doors for good because they know that there's just no coming back from all of this. Wooster brings up a point in the chat. I assume Marvel will go ahead with digital and subscriptions. Interesting to see what happens. Yeah, they can still, Marvel and DC can both still get their comics out there if they want to.
Don't they already have that option when you go with their streaming apps for like?
I know DC does. There are a lot of digital comics on DC Universe app.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they can definitely still get the comics out there if they want to. But my point is your LCS can't make anything off of a digital comic that they buy straight from Marvel or straight from Comixology or anything like that. The LCS needs those physical copies in the store to stay afloat. They need the games and everything that Diamond, distributes through their distribution centers. They need that to survive. Without Diamond, there's nothing else. Back in the 90s, Diamond became the monopoly that it is today.
Yeah.
We had what was that? Marvel bought Heroes World, and then DC signed an exclusive contract with Diamond, and then IDW and Image all followed suit, and all of the smaller distributors, they all shriveled up and died.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. It's who knows? If there was smaller distributors today, could they still keep their doors open? Amidst this crisis, it's a possibility. I guess we don't know for sure. We can only really speculate.
Well, I
But
think a big thing is they're not doing buybacks anymore. And that's Peter Cimenti brought that up online on Twitter, like literally tweeting. He tweeted the CB Cebulski about if Marvel's doing buybacks, and he just
yeah,
like totally ignored the question and being like, "Oh, that's not about that." So these huge corporations like Disney and Marvel, they don't care that much about your LCSs to help them out like that.
True. A
yeah,
lot
and
of
that's the thing. And buybacks are that would be a saving grace.
Yeah.
The first thing the Marvel said was like, "Oh, we'll offer deep discounts." Well, deep discounts don't do shit if they're still stuck with all this product that they can't move anyway, even without any kind of discounts. You go into any LCS and it's riddled with all of these crap Marvel books that they spew out dozens of titles every week that nobody really wants, and
and making
these shops.
multiple variant covers, forcing them to buy more copies of the same book multiple times.
Exactly. So the shops are already stuck with all of this shit to begin with.
Now they have
Let's
more
say
comics in their bins than they have on the shelves.
Exactly.
if you have a manure cart and you're selling manure and you got a couple farmers that buy it from you, right? And then all of a sudden you put that manure goes on sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's still those same couple farmers that would still be buying it. You know what I mean? You're not all of a sudden selling ice cream. You know
That's
what I mean?
that's a good analogy of manure cart. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm metaphors, gets analogies, but I'll go the analogy route. Here's something that the sins of the big two and the big five, if you will, fairly well documented. We kind of know where they went wrong. What interests me is that the model that Comicsgate has been establishing, which is direct to consumer. Again, I hate to cut out the mom and pops. I hate the demise of going to the comic shop on Wednesday. But that's not something that I have any control over. What I do see, I was talking to Vault earlier. We were talking about some of his projects and stuff. And he said that he's Amazon Prime member, and then he got a notification that they were not in any real hurry to get him his goods. And I was like thinking to myself, Amazon, if you're Amazon, if you're Jeff Bezos or whatever, you should right now is when you step up. If there's a vacuum of services of, tissue paper, for fuck's sakes, figure out a way to get it to the consumer. And that's what Comicsgate has been doing for a couple of years now. So it's maybe we're ahead of the curve a little while.
It's like, let me tell you a story. Let me light up a blunt here, and old Gad will tell
Here
you.
we go. Story time with
All right.
Gat.
Now picture this, fellas. All right, this is a fantasy setting. All right, in this fantasy setting, there is a certain knight in shining armor. Right, he has a long sword. He has a shield. He's a valiant-looking man. Looks a lot like Caesar. He has long blonde hair. Right,
Just like Caesar.
Yeah, just like
Luxurious, full head of hair.
but long blonde, just luscious. I mean, just
Flowing
fabulous
locks.
hair. Yes. Okay. So, and he's been doing battle now for quite some time, along with his small army. Right. He has a small little loyal group that's been following along. Right. Let's just call them Comicsgate. All right. And he's been doing battle with this evil dragon, this many-headed dragon. That we'll call DC and Marvel and fucking IDW and all these other smaller places, right? And the industry, right? There's also in this situation a little evil wizard, not the good kind like me, right? There's a little evil wizard. His name's Diamond, right? And he kind of made a pact with this dragon, and now they've taken over the town, and that's what your LCSs are, right? And so now here we are, basically outside of this, fighting this evil dragon, fighting this wizard, to what they would all say, no avail. We built our own fortress, our own little kingdom with this valiant knight, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the middle of this battle, a giant meteor comes down and hits the village and the evil wizard and the fucking dragon all at once. And guess who's left standing there? This beautiful man with his long fucking locks and his fucking longsword and his shield and his army standing behind him. That's
Gorgeous.
fucking been loyal to him this whole fucking time. And that's Comicsgate. We just watched this fucking meteor come down and crush these fucks right in front of us. It's like a sign from God. We walk around and we make jokes all the time how we say, God loves War Campaign, God loves Comicsgate. Well, you just fucking seen it.
Hail.
That's wow.
Hell yeah.
Wow. That's very, I mean, it's prophetic and it's so very true.
I'm ready for Vestige.
So
After
go
hearing
buy
that.
Vestige. You just got to
Yeah.
prove that he knows how to. He's a storyteller, so go right ahead.
Hell, I didn't write that
No,
story
brother.
though. We were all part of it though,
I
right?
know, but you know what I mean.
But
No,
yeah, this is where
Yeah,
we're
buddy.
at now,
Yeah,
fellas.
that's-
We're here
Yep.
with our glorious, the glorious long-haired knight. And he turns around and shrugs his shoulders like, what,
Yeah.
We kept
we
saying
win,
it.
I guess, bros, right? I mean,
We
Yeah,
kept saying it that they were going to
I
fall
had
one
to
day.
initially laugh because the first part of that, I loved it. Well, not the first part, but the first like 10th of it. I really loved it when that was a LARPing episode that you also wrote. But then after that, you like veered off into like current events and all that. And without a doubt, we Comicsgate as a whole have barbarians at the gate have told the corporates that this is the meteor. You're the meteor. You're the meteor that you've aimed at yourself.
mhm.
And it big cloud of dust. Here we are.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. This, who
You
would
can't
have
say-
thought that this is what it was. This is all it took was this weird virus that everyone's freaking out about.
We didn't know how, but we knew this was coming.
Yeah,
This just made it go faster.
dude. I said in a video a while ago, like 2 weeks ago, that the coronavirus was the SJW of viruses because it just cancels everything, right? Well, now it's like actually succeeded in canceling Marvel and DC Comics. You guys were talking a little bit about something before we went on stream about DC Comics printing service is now, they've also shut their doors.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll elaborate on that. First of all, what you just said, and something else we touched on before we went live, and that's that if you've got a 3-legged table and those legs are so shaky that this is what it takes to bring you down, it kind of shows where the structural integrity of your rickety old table was at.
Sure, it's like you
Yeah.
got that rickety old side table and you set your beer on the wrong end of it and it just over it goes. The beer
Topples
spills
over.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's how out of balance state of affairs have gotten to be, certainly at Marvel and suddenly at DC with the AT&T acquisition. Yeah, man, like the print thing, that was crazy. Apparently, DC's printer.
DC, Marvel, Image,
yeah.
Dark Horse.
There you go. Yeah, they've decided that it's time to shut down operations. So first you have Diamond saying, "Don't send us any books. We don't want any." And then you have, I mean, meanwhile, again, yeah, you've got your local comic book shops that are like, "Hey, we need product to stay in business."
Yeah.
But you've got Diamond saying, "Nope, we're taking a few weeks off to reassess." There's pluses and minuses to that. But then it turns around. Apparently, the printer for virtually everybody is saying, "Yeah, we're not going to print it. Don't worry about any shipment of books, Diamond. We're not printing
Because
any
we're not
anyway."
printing any anyhow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's actually where it really gets, pretty detrimental to Marvel and DC themselves. First of all, they don't have an outlet to sell these books that they're printing, and now they actually don't have a printer to print them. They're almost forced to go all digital. It's going to be really hard. They both, Marvel and DC, they have their big summer events, like a summer blockbuster in a sense. They might not be very good, but they're usually line-wide events that all come out. You get a primer, usually at Free Comic Book Day, which has also been postponed. At first they said, well, we're going to make it a month-long event. We're going to stagger the releases. Now they've pushed it back to the fall. So they don't have that jumping on point that they would normally have to use. And now they can't even print these books to begin with. This is bad. This is just bad news across the board for Marvel and DC. And I mean, basically all of the publishers out there at this point, other than Comicsgate, because we self-publish, we use smaller printing services that so far, knock on wood, are staying open through this crisis because they are smaller printers. Yeah. Yes.
Except for Malin. Poor Malin.
Yeah, but Malin was doing with that
Sorry,
company.
John. Dude, it was horrible to see his face fall like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get. Here's the thing. Let's circle back around to the actual printing conundrum because that's an interesting discussion. But it's more business oriented. You touched on the DC Marvel crossover. I remember well the Avengers versus JLA came at a fairly troubled time in the DC continuity and so forth, but still it was a major event. Definitely, I think it sold comic books. It drove people to the comic shops. I went and got mine. I still got it. They're shrink wrapped up around in here somewhere. But so we've got Gail Simone proposing that that's what's going to save the industry. Well, who's going to write it? Her? Kurt fucking Busiek? Is he going to, JLA Avengers, Busiek, Avengers. But, right? I mean, how would we cast that? How would
Tom
we
King.
go about?
Tom King.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are making jokes, but those are actually some of the names thrown about.
The top guys, over there.
In this.
Yeah.
Dude,
Gail Simone, she calls for another Marvel DC crossover to help comic shops recover from coronavirus shutdowns. So she's essentially saying that once everything gets up and running again, the best idea is to once again flood the market with a bunch of crap to help drive people back into shops.
Okay, I'll ask again. I asked earlier. Sorry, Adam, but so who do we want to cast in this crossover team event? So on Marvel's side, we've got what is it? Snowflake and
Snowflake and Safe Space.
Okay, whatever the fuck that team is. And then DC doesn't actually have anything quite that lame. I mean, if Bendis had more time, if he had more time, maybe he could blow a Legion of Superheroes to the level where instead of the Fearsome Five or whatever the hell it is, they could take on Safe Place, Snow Space. What the fuck is it? And it would just fuck. Are you shitting me? What's the crossover?
And Safe Space.
Bisexual Spider-Man versus cucked out Batman. Tom King crossover. Who's in?
Yeah. Not me, brother.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
That's for me.
Who's going to do this crossover?
Dude, if they're having
on that note, I'm going to mute and go. I got to take a little bathroom break.
Right.
But what the fuck, dude? I mean, who's going to write this fucking monstrosity Simone's calling for?
If they're having trouble selling books now, what makes you think they can sell this shit with the same people doing the shit that we're not buying right now?
That's a good point. Because at least in the 90s, when they did the Marvel versus DC miniseries, what you had, I think it was Mark Waid and Dan Jurgens, two guys at that time in the prime of their writing careers, putting together this, which was essentially a fan vote contest. They picked the matchups, and then the fans voted who actually won those matchups. Mm-hmm. But it turned out it was actually a pretty entertaining little 4-issue miniseries. So that ended up spawning that the Amalgam universe, which was very, very short-lived, which I thought was pretty cool. You had the Super Soldier, which was like Superman, Captain America mashup. Was it Dark Claw, Wolverine, Batman mashup? I mean, that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. I really like the fact that the readers could vote. Okay, I don't agree with who won most of the time. Like, do we understand Lobo versus Wolverine? Lobo should have won, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to get involved. The readers involved. It was the same experiment they did with the Robin thing.
Yeah,
and they found out how cruel fans could be. Do you want to kill Robin? Yes, kill him.
Yep.
It was
Yeah, that was an
majority
overwhelming
vote.
yes.
It was a majority vote of killing Jason Todd. So I think it's a great idea, but not to try and save something. It's something you do for fun.
Yeah. We got Delta Spurgforce in the chat. He says Shaq Steele. Yeah, that was one of the characters. I don't think that was the actual name, but that was basically what the character was. Passion for drawing, hail brother. He says their corporate masters won't let that happen. The IP outside of comics is worth too much.
Exactly. And right now, with the point of the fact that they're owned by Disney, right? So they're insured by those big freaking companies. And there was a big documentary about it like not too long ago about how movie producers, those big studios, make sometimes more money out of a failure, the insurance of a failure, than in the actual success of a big hit.
Yeah.
That's why they invest a lot of money in those small budget movies, knowing that they're going to be considered failure because it's also tax deductible at the end of the year. So their big hits are don't get taxed as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's the same principle that's getting applied to the comic book industry, where they're mass producing a whole bunch of shit with a few hits. So that's why you have like a whole bunch of shit that you look at it, it's not even exciting, it's not even stimulating, it's not even storytelling. It's just like illustrative art, right? Really, like people that shouldn't be doing comics at this point, and you have 2 titles with a big name on it.
Yeah. Have you guys read this article from comicbook.com?
No, I don't read.
Okay, this dude Russ Burlingame. This must be Gail Simone's husband. Because this article says Gail Simone, best-selling comic book writer and undisputed champion of getting things to trend on Twitter, has an idea for getting some enthusiastic customers back into comic book stores when the U.S. resumes normal commercial operations following the novel coronavirus pandemic. The Birds of Prey and Deadpool writer. When did she? I don't ever remember her writing Deadpool.
Yeah, I was surprised to read that.
Okay. She thinks that a Marvel DC crossover could goose sales and throw the doors open for new casual and lapsed readers in a way few other projects could. She acknowledges that there have been... Yeah.
Dude, can I insert an edit real quick, Adam?
Please.
I don't mean to interrupt, but
Please do.
If I was to edit this, that's what I do. Gail Simone, formerly, many years ago, best-selling comic book writer and undisputed champion at getting ratioed on YouTube on train videos. Go ahead. Yeah, just a quick edit.
That's much better. Where was I? She acknowledges that there have been legal and financial barriers to making Marvel DC crossovers in recent years, but stressed that it would be great for fans and retailers. I love how she's acting like all of a sudden like she is an authority on how to make money in the comic book industry.
I mean, dude, that's a nice way of saying shit poster, by the way. Undisputed champion of getting things to trend on Twitter. Shit poster.
Yeah.
I was going to take a class on comics writing last week.
Don't do that to yourself.
I just hung out with Gat and smoked dope instead.
That's a much better way to spend your time.
Yeah, you probably learned a lot more about comic writing.
Yeah.
So this is the let's see here. This is no, that's not the tweet I want to read here. Where's the one that's got the crap in it? Hold on. We gotta switch screens. I'll pull up the actual tweet that has her ridiculous, terrible ideas or great ideas, I guess, depending on who you talk to. Here it is. She started this hashtag please Marvel DC because she's the queen at getting things trending on Twitter. She says you could have Vision / Mr. Miracle by Tom King, Thor / Wonder Woman by Donny Cates, Spider-Man / Superman / Spider-Man by Brian Bendis. Now, who the fuck is putting Superman and Spider-Man in a matchup? Because that's just really, really unfair to Spider-Man.
Is it because they're matching colors?
I get okay.
These are all bad ideas anyway. Who wants to read that shit? Fuck.
Vision and Mr. Miracle.
That was done in an oversized comic back in the 70s, and it wasn't a good story then. I can only imagine how god
What's it going to be? Wonder
Reddit.
Woman cucking Thor? Just every fucking you turn the page and she's better at fucking frisbee. She's better at video games. She's better at eating. She's better at every fucking thing. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how that book's going to go. Mjolnir, no problem. You know what I mean? I fucking use that to fucking eat my fucking breakfast cereal in the morning. You know?
I feel like that's exactly how that story would go. See, like, because when I first heard that she was getting this together to do this epic crossover that we all know is never going to happen, I assumed that it was going to be more in that lines from the 90s of versus, get these characters to kind of face off against each other, and you put two characters that are alike.
Yeah.
Vision and Mr. Miracle are the only way they're alike is that they were both tragically ruined by Tom King. That's the only thing they have in common.
Yeah.
Thor and
I
Wonder
might be
Woman.
remembering this wrong, but I think that Wonder Woman picked up Thor's hammer in that JLA Avengers crossover. I may be remembering it wrong, but I also may be remembering correctly that Busiek correctly presaged how stupid all this shit would become within 20 years. And
she did it. She did it in the Versus miniseries when they finally after they mashed all together into the Amalgam universe, and then the fourth issue they split back up to defeat the big bad guy that was controlling everything, and the big epic battle. Yeah, she picks up Thor's hammer in two hands. She got it in like two hands. Like, here, you drop this, and like Thor's like, oh my god. Eric Masterson Thor was like, oh my god, like she picked up the hammer. Well, we got Black Daddy in the chat.
So I was crossing the
Hell.
Hell. So I was crossing the next. Yeah, but there you go. And again, the Spider-Man Superman thing was done back in the 70s, and big oversized comic. I remember I was a little kid. I had it. It was badass. Their colors did match. And they had it out on the Empire State Building. But, if you play that out to its logical conclusion, Superman heaves Spider-Man into space. End of story. That's a 2-page story. Fucking Bendis can't tell a story in fucking 12 issues.
Screw Spider-Man, Spider Sense, Superman, Super Speed. Done.
Adam, it seems like Passion came up with a good title for this crossover.
I just seen that. Yes, we want to keep our jobs. The crossover.
Pretty good.
Oh, brother.
That is good.
Anyone send me a paycheck. That's what that is. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
She also continues. I don't know if this is supposed to be an edit, but she also wants Kelly Sue DeConnick to do Captain Marvel / Wonder Woman. Oh man, I want that.
See, that's that brings to mind my other thing. Who the hell did the art on JLA versus Avengers? Was that Perez?
Yes,
I think it was.
I believe it was.
I think it was.
Perez. Yes, it was.
I think it was. So who's going to draw it now? The fucking chick on Squirrel Girl? Is that who's going to draw this shit? What the fuck?
I vote Joe Ball. I heard he got a job there.
Really?
Put everybody in, as long as we put everybody in fuchsia, it should work out great.
Joe Ball's on Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's the rumor.
As long as the color palette's purple and fuchsia. I mean,
you better finish Bullet Maker first.
So let's see. What else did they kind of come up with here? I'm curious. We got Laura Kinney, which is X-23 / Cassandra Cain by Tom Taylor. Wally West / Peter Parker by Mark Waid. Oh God.
That's fucking shit.
Is he not on Twitter anymore? How come this person didn't tag him?
Wait,
did he take a Twitter hiatus because he kept getting his ass handed to him?
Or maybe he was forced by.
Last time I saw his Twitter account was ran by a bot.
Really?
It was like auto posting. Yeah, that's the last I saw.
it's what fucks me up, dude. It could be unpopular in the current climate, but I'll stand by it. I don't give a fuck. When Wade was doing Impulse, that was pretty good shit, honestly.
Wait, okay. I will say that back in the 90s and the late 80s, Wade was a good writer.
Wade did some great Wally West stories. Fuck, he did some great Bart Allen stories. And for that matter, God, I mean, pains me to say this, but Gail Simone did some pretty good Birds of Prey Nightwing stuff. But holy fuck, that was a long time ago. And look where we are now. That's not even. Now they're like promoting a whole different fucking Jesus.
See the problem is most of these creators in the mainstream have never actually created anything of their own. They're just playing with other people's toys. And after a while, you can't come up with anything original anymore. That's why most of these mainstream writers, we've seen them in their prime. Their prime was amazing. We lauded them for doing such a great job with X character and X character. But here it is 20, 30 years later, and they're still trying to tell stories with the same characters, and they're all dried up. There's nothing left to tell.
There are two problems, and it's fucking obvious to anyone with any half a fucking brain. The first problem is what you just described. They've already told every fucking story that can be told with these fucking things, right? And then number two is, even if you do get past that point, say you get past that and you're like, okay, I got a cool story, I'm going to invent a new Superman story that's never been told. Well, now you don't have no fucking continuity. So, you know what I mean? Like, you're fucked. Now, it's more so Marvel than it is DC, but both fucking, like, they're both cluster fucked. So, like, that's your two problems. You can't get past the first one, the second one will get you.
Yep. Camayer's got a good he's got a good point in the chat. Crossover with Gail Simone meeting an alternate version of herself who is a skinny bitch and knows how to write.
Hell, Chimera, hell SOS.
That'd be good meta. Very good meta.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, I mean, it's just fucking weird, dude, because, like, you see, okay, so they put out this Birds of Prey movie, and I didn't go see it. I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to see that. And then you've got Gail Simone championing what a great movie it was and all that. And, again, I haven't seen it, not going to see it. But I can tell by what I've seen that it has absolutely nothing to do with some really good Birds of Prey stuff that Gail herself wrote. There's no Barbara Gordon in a wheelchair being Oracle. There's no Huntress per se, don't get me started. There's no Black Canary per se. It's not even the same. She used to write this stuff.
And Harley Quinn's not even Harley Quinn anymore.
Yeah, man. It's just like so far off the mark of what actually, and yet, they're out there like waving the flag. There's a million things that I'll never begin to care about understanding about Gail Simone. But she's like waving the flag for something that has nothing to do with an actually credible body of work that she's responsible for. Weird.
I know, and that's what I really don't understand. Is that I know that she knows these characters. She's written these characters and written them well. Yeah, and then she's out there championing this movie that, like I said, I never seen it, but it looks like absolute garbage. Everybody that I know says that it's absolute garbage. It's not Birds of Prey whatsoever. I mean, the characters, I can at least attest that they don't look like Birds of Prey characters. Yeah, I don't know what they are. They are hideous malformations of the characters.
From what I was told, they even ruined the Batgirl, the original one, Cassandra, that was supposed to
Cassandra Cain.
Yeah.
Well, she was always silent in the comics. Like, that was kind of her shtick was, she never spoke.
She's this whiny Asian girl with a broken arm.
And that's a whole nother can of worms. Whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you have the issue with these writers that, like you said, they used to be good writers and now they're virtue signaling and trying to change the industry and, fight against the misogyny and stuff like that. And then you have these new writers who are coming in, they've never read a comic book, and they're trying to write these characters like how they want to see a character instead of, homaging the previous creators that have come before them and writing these characters how they're supposed to be written. And that's why we see a lot of people backing away from comics being like, this isn't the character that I remember. This person wouldn't do that. And I was actually at C2E2 this year hanging out with Doug Mankey, who's the co-creator of The Mask. And I'm a huge fan of the Mask series from the 90s.
Yeah.
And they recently launched a new Mask series at Dark Horse with new creators, and it's hyper political. It's called I Pledge Allegiance to the Mask. And it's the same characters from the old book, but now, like, they've aged. Like, Lieutenant Calloway is like this old retired cop who is being berated by Stanley Ipkiss's ex-girlfriend, Kathy, who's like a politician now, and she is a super feminist. And I was telling Doug this, and he's like, what? I didn't know. Like, why would they do this to these characters? There's literally a scene, one of the issues ends where Calloway and Kathy have sex with each other, and he just comes in 2 seconds. She complains about it, and the last panel is her in the bathroom, bent over, cleaning herself off with a piece of toilet paper.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That, and I'm like, this is a Mask comic. What? And I told him this, and his mind was blown, and he was mad. And I'm like, it's these new writers who don't respect stuff that guys like you and John Arcudi, the writer of the original Mask, created and worked so hard on in 1989.
Fuck.
And they're just shitting all over it because they want to see the world needs to change, and we're going to do it through comics.
Dude, you talked to Simon Bisley also about Lobo, and dude,
Oh yeah,
he was pissed.
yeah. How they changed Lobo.
That's that Lobo 52 there, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was 2012, 2011.
Well, they finally did fix that and said that was actually like a clone of Lobo. It wasn't the actual Lobo, and they brought
they retconned
it. They were smart on that one, and they retconned that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but there's guys out there like Doug Mankey who are still badass artists that just like they want to draw Batman, they want to draw for DC, and they aren't for this shit that's going on, which was cool to talk to him and see that he was, kind of not for that.
I hate to turn it back to fucking Gail, but not only she turned her back on the very continuity that helped make her career, she also, when it comes to the artwork,
That's awesome.
I mean, a lot of what was great about that is awesome, dude. That's
I
cool.
did that for me.
That's cool, dude.
Fucking badass.
But I mean, Birds of Prey was Ed Benes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who draws a better Black Canary or Hunters than Ed Benes? And then that's what they serve up for a movie. And then somebody who was actually involved in that creative process back in the 90s, the aughts, is, out there being like, this is great. Everybody's in a trash bag. And these characters have nothing to do with, just can't wrap my head around it.
Well, I feel like back in the 90s and early 2000s even, when you got put on Batman or Superman, or, I mean, really any of the mainstream flagship titles, that was an honor and a privilege. I mean, you had to work your ass off to get to that point. Now they just give it to any Tom, Dick, and Harry who either has the right boxes checked or like what they've got, that dude who's doing the Snowflake and Safe Flake New Warrior shit he was a Colbert writer. He's just some fucking random ass Democrat who has the same agenda that they want to push.
Yeah, fucking Colbert, right? The thing you do is instead of putting yourself in a position where you have to retcon fucking Lobo, is you go ahead and give a new writer a chance. And then when he turns in a story where Lobo's whatever that fucking new 52 thing was, you not so gently invite him to see his way out. It's like
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You don't publish the shit, so you have to retcon it later. You just don't publish it.
Yeah, just don't.
Oh, but they were sure they were having the next best hit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you give dude a second chance and say, by the way, this is the character that you're writing, not that shit you just gave us. This is the character that you're drawing, not this, that.
That's really generous of you, Steve.
Joe
I'm not
also,
doing it, but they could. I don't.
Phil here also like we were talking about it. Like the guy that actually was hired to do the design of the new version of the Lobo, right? He had like great fucking designs. They were
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
He's a huge Bisley fan. He's a huge
Yeah.
Lobo fan. I talked to him a couple of
So
years ago.
they were awesome. They were inspired by the original, and they were cool as fuck. But they forced him to do that, and he was pissed.
Yeah, yeah.
Shame of it.
That's not too surprising. I feel like most of this shit, and we don't really know for a fact, but I can guarantee that most of this shit that we get stuck with is from editorial. It comes down the pipeline because I've seen, even in more recent years, I've seen writers working on a specific title and doing something really great with it, and then all of a sudden it just takes a left fucking turn into Shitsville, and you read it and you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah.
Like you were doing so well and then all of a sudden everything went to hell. I guarantee it's because someone up in editorial was like, no, you needed to be taking this in a different direction. I don't know. That's how I think of it. Metal Movies and Brewski says it's just over. Hail Comicsgate strong.
It's just over. If the industry dies, it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it dies, it dies.
Technically, it's not gonna die. It's just it's a good. It proves that what we've been saying for a while, Ethan and a whole bunch of us, that the actual model is done. It needs to change, and it's not dying. It's evolving, and we're part of the new generation.
We are the evolution. I think that's the big thing here is we are the actual evolution of the comics industry. We're putting out better product. We're putting out product in a different format. You were kind of saying that with Vestige Sim, you're doing it with Blood Hunt. You're starting with a collectible graphic novel and then working backwards into floppy issues.
Yeah, make a direct edition after to make it more available. It's like giving a life after the campaign.
Exactly. That's I think the new model, and that's what we need to be concentrating on. Phil, what do you have on your screen here?
So this is Chimera in the chat wanted to know which issue of the mask that was in. I just wanted to show you an example. So this is Kathy. She's Stanley Epicus's girlfriend, and this is how Doug Mankey drew her back in the '90s. And this is Lieutenant Kellaway. He's this badass cop. He's telling off his chief here. And then this is them now. We have Kathy. She looks not the best. We got a balding, fat Lieutenant Calloway who's retired, and I guess the only way Kathy could get off is she's choking a guy while they're having sex.
Oh my god!
And then literally the last panel is her cleaning herself off.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, this is issue 3.
Wow.
And then this is some of the cover art here. Very hyper political. The series ends with the Statue of Liberty having the mask on and saying that maybe this isn't a story and like this is what's happening in America right now. And they also blow up the White House.
Oh wow! Your Chimera says it too. He goes, "Wow."
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Blows
is
my mind, dude.
Yeah. So it's insane. I'll show you that last panel. Also, in the first issue, the mask is in maybe like 5 panels in the whole comic. So he's president now. And it's just a whole Trump commentary thing, basically.
That's the president with the big crown.
Yeah, they blow up the
Super
White House.
This is over. Jeez.
well. That's what everything nowadays. It's all Trump commentary. That's all everything is. It's all Trump commentary. Orange Man bad. America's gone to shit. We got Mayfield Jukes in the chat. He says, "I have all the originals. So glad I passed on that tripe."
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Passion for Drawing says, "So Green Man bad." Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Chimera says, "I think my childhood just died." Yeah, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, the tagline for this comic is "Make America Green Again."
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So I mean, this is it. The mainstream they have nothing left anyway. So it's probably best if they just shut their doors and let us take over.
Yep.
We're the ones with the new IPs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing too, man. People out there are crying for new content, and when Marvel finally says, "Okay, we'll give you some new characters," we end up with Snowflake and Safe Space and Screen Time, Trailblazer. Like, how fucking embarrassing!
Well, this is
with a copy with a younger copy of them mimicking their powers.
Oh yeah, the children.
Oh,
of
the
the
Children
Atom.
of the Atom, yeah, the X-Men with the super team with super sidekicks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What the hell do you need the sidekicks for?
Not only is there very little diversity in Vestige, there is no fuchsia.
No fuchsia.
No
No
fuchsia.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, no,
not?
the relic page there might be a hint of fuchsia,
We're just going to
but
gloss
it's
over
not
that.
on a human.
Yeah, we're just going to gloss
You
over
know
that.
that?
You
There's
might be
no
right.
fuchsia on a human. How about that?
Son of a bitch, you might be right. We'll just gloss over that. Let's continue.
Well, I think that's why everyone needs CG Jumpstart right now. This is there is a need for it, and we here are going to give it all to the true comic fans.
You know, I think that's a very good point. You know, what better time for you guys to be launching CG Jumpstart than right now, when the comic industry, the fans are literally starving for something new, to revitalize their love of comics. You know,
I get a lot of bang for your buck with that one. Get a lot of creators, a lot of stories, all in one book.
Yeah.
Well, you get to find out exactly what Comicsgate is. You
Mhm.
don't have to wonder, right?
Mhm.
This thing from front to back tells you exactly who we are, what we stand for, what our product looks like, the whole shebang, dude. Like, this is it. You can point at this thing and be like, this is Comicsgate. So anyone new out there who's kind of like, damn, when am I going to get my comic books from the industry again? You don't have to worry. We're still going to fucking be doing them here, and it's like in full. We're fucking going hard now, fellas. Like, there's a lot of people that are bringing out a lot of good books this year. So Comicsgate's going to be amazing. Whether Marvel and DC are amazing or not, it don't matter, right? We're still going to do our thing.
Yeah, and honestly, now the sky's the limit right now for us. We have nothing holding us back, especially now during this time of comic book crisis. I think if we can get normie eyes on Jumpstart, it will literally seal the deal for Comicsgate.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to get it out there. Anyone who's taking part of this magazine, I know they're going to push it hard. I want everyone in Comicsgate to show if all their buddies who read comics who maybe aren't into Comicsgate. Well, you can now have something to point them to, and this is what you can show them. They can literally read about it. You don't have to take the time and sit there and do the 3-hour discussion. You can have the discussion after they read the magazine, then, right? And then they'll already know. They'll be informed.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. It'll be like, excuse me, like a business card almost. Like, hey, you want to know what I'm about? Check this out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I still plan it when we do get closer to probably. I feel like right about launch time, I'm gonna release the article to the Daily Planet DC. It's a comic book and news blog. They get a lot of viewership from just like the outside masses, just kind of because of the name that he uses. And I feel like if I can get that article in there and show off Jumpstart and get a link in there to the campaign, it'll really blow this thing wide open.
Well, Adam, man, that's a great idea. This is what we need to do. Like, I mean, I hate to do live strategy session on air, but we need to try to leverage some of these outside forces to taking a look at this stuff at the very least, because that's all it's going to take is for them to see this thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Passion for drawing in the chat. He says, "Look at the collapse of comics companies when the Comics Code was implemented. It created Marvel and DC. With this, CG will be the new industry. Life went on after the asteroid hit the Pornosaurus."
That's a typo. Passion, that's a typo, right? You think that's a typo, Adam?
Oh shit!
I'm gonna leave that last line alone. But
That's got to be a typo. Hit the
typo.
dinosaurs, I think, is what he.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that last line alone. But
He's
true enough, what Comicsgate's done all along, and it's kind of the key to life is, some men will see obstacles, other men will see opportunity.
Yeah,
See the
exactly.
opportunity.
Metal Movies and Bruce, he says, "We have to remember this moment. We have to stay true. What we have, what we are, is a godsend." Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. Hey, we got Vinny Art in the chat. Hail, Vinny Art. Welcome, brother. Good to have you here. So, yeah, I mean, I really think that this is that watershed moment, I think, that we've actually all been waiting for. That's going to really change the tide and bring Comicsgate into the mainstream and get a lot of normie eyes on these amazing projects that we've got. I mean, fuck, Vinny Art, he pumps out books, I think, more than anybody else out there, and they're all quality. The quality of the story, the art, and the production itself is out of this world.
Beautiful books. Hell, Vinny.
Yeah, for sure.
We got, Sim here. He's got, Blood Hunt in demand right now, closing at the end of the month, shipping in April. Fingers crossed that his little printer doesn't get shut down. Hope to God it doesn't get shut down. That'll be in customers' hands soon, and he's got a shitload of stuff on the horizon. Phil, you as well. You've got you are in the middle of fulfilling Magic Cop right now, are you not?
Yeah.
We have everything packed and ready to roll out. The past 2 days been packing.
Yeah.
Look at you. Let me make that big.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil and Brandon are fulfilling right now. Gat's about ready to be up to his ass in fulfillment.
You guys are gonna freak when you feel this cover.
It looks sweet.
It looks good. Is that does that got like that satin finish on it?
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Ooh,
It's gonna be
yeah.
awesome. There's the spine. Got the spine. We got a little Passion for Drawing back cover for y'all.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
tomorrow we're gonna go and start shipping all these. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it looks great,
Oh,
dude.
dude, it came out.
Congratulations. Looks
Yeah.
really, really good,
Thanks,
Phil.
man. And we're not stopping here.
Was that
We're
from
in Jumpstart. This is Mix'em, yeah, Mix'em printer. So we got the preview in Jumpstart. I also have an article in there, and the previews for the Lost Pages, which is going to be our next book that we're launching in the springtime. So I guess it is springtime, but we're going to launch it after we ship this. Start promoting that mailing list more and get more people on board, because that's going to be a huge project. You have a lot of surprises for everybody on that one.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Lost Pages. Magic Cop is definitely it's very anticipated in my household. The Lost Pages, I think, even more so, just because of the grand design that you have of it all. You and your brother, I think, are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to quality IPs.
Thank you so much, man. I've been working on the Lost Pages for a long time. Like the Silhouette, who's going to be in Jumpstart, we created that character back in 2010, man. And yeah, and that's all coming out to this. Being able to release it to Comicsgate with a bunch of awesome artists and introducing some new artists to the network, the Comicsgate network. Really excited to do that. So.
Yeah, so tell us just a little bit more about Lost Pages. It's 4 stories in one, correct?
Yeah. So it's Zaid Comic, like it's our collective of heroes, a connected universe, if you will. So there's different heroes that span through different time frames and genres, and technically it's a way for me to jump between genres and kind of work out my muscles in writing. And it is linearly told by a narrator who's a homeless man who holds this book of lost pages, this magical tome. and inside of it are these stories of different heroes that protect our world. And
Spoilers, dude. That's a lot.
well, those aren't. I mean, that's a lot, but there's many more spoilers to get into.
The
But
hobo and shit.
all you
Come
have
on,
to
man.
know is basically it's the story told by this homeless man, and in each story you meet a new hero drawn by a different artist, colored in a different style, and these heroes will eventually come together to right the end of the world. So that's
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a big idea.
Yeah, it took a lot of work getting it into one story, because there's into one book, I should say. But I think we worked it out, and I think it's going to be awesome. So if you guys are interested, check it out on Indiegogo. There's actually a pre-launch page, so you can read more about the characters and get on the mailing list.
Very nice. So, what do you guys think? Where does Comicsgate really? Where do we go from here? What else can we do? I feel like this is. Oh, go ahead.
Straight up.
I said straight up to
Straight
the
up.
stars. Yeah, past that moon and going all the way to deep space.
I mean, I just feel like this is our opportunity to really take this to the next level. What can we do to do that? Because the other yesterday I had a little morning stream, and we kind of spitballed ideas to kind of save the LCS. Well, that was before we knew that Diamond was closing, and it actually might be the end of the LCS. We were talking about the LCS needs to kind of evolve into more than just a comic shop. It needs to be a place for people to come and hang out and kind of congregate, as well as read books. We were talking about it wouldn't be a bad idea if you've got a live campaign and you've got a bulk tier available to literally put on your salesman hat and knock on doors, as it were. Go into these comic shops in your local area and pitch these books, to the manager, to the owner, whoever will listen. Maybe leave a flyer, some kind of leave behind that they can put on the, next to the register that customers can take. That's got the Indiegogo link to, look at your project a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
Because we don't use Diamond. We have no need for that, because we are a direct shipment to the customers, whether it be directly to their house or, in the sense that we're shipping them directly to the LCS. They honestly, most of these bulk tiers that I've seen have decent markups to where these shops are actually making a decent amount per book. A lot more actually than they would be making off of Marvel and DC. Now, obviously, they're not going to sell the same volume yet. Hopefully,
Right.
at one time, at one point, it will be a great amount of volume, but it still offers them the opportunity to make money when they can't make money off of Marvel or DC. What else is there out there that we can do?
I think that there's going to be some lines that will be drawn, and I have some interest in where those lines will be drawn. The thing about it is I think that Comicsgate has long anticipated, incorrectly, that there would be a gradual influx of fans, of traditional comic book readers, and that have not had what they actually look for in a comic fulfilled by what the establishment is coming to be. Now we're seeing an acceleration of that timeline. What we've seen immediately is a number of quote unquote mainstream creators, announcing plans for a YouTube or announcing plans for a crowdfunding effort. I think that's kind of a case by case basis when it comes to a creator. If Dan Frago wants to come over, man, grab an oar, Dan Fraga. We're happy to have you. There's other creators where, I don't see anybody in Comicsgate or anybody that really has the core values of comics at heart that grew up as a comics fan embracing Simone or Beziak or, one of these people anytime soon, no matter what works they've done in the past. They've been entirely too vocal and entirely too intent on flying the airplane into the ground, which at the start of Comicsgate, this is what, maybe we didn't want to have happen. And then it became apparent it was inevitable.
I'll say,
Now,
Steve,
hang on,
let me
Gab, one
cut
more
you off
thing.
real quick. Well, mine's going to be quick.
right.
The war campaign will go on a fucking rampage. Let one of these fuck try to cross over, and someone who's been fucking talking shit and blockbotting and running the fucking industry and ruining characters that we all love. War campaign will go on a fucking rampage. All right, go ahead, Steve.
No, yeah, I'm down with that.
And people
certainly,
just
'cause
keep
that's
doing
kind of
what
what
they
I'm
do.
saying. The flip side of that is there's going to be a lot of fans, a lot of readers that are going to be looking to fill that vacuum in their lives. That they're like, okay, there's no LCS, I still like comic books. Now, if you haven't been a mainstream creator who's been openly wreaking havoc on the industry that we love, if you're merely one of the people that loves the industry, then then the arms are open. I think that there's going to be an influx of fans, and we got to be put out the very best work that we can, and give them something to fill that void.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's different whether it's a carpetbagging creator who's talked a lot of shit, or if it's like a normie that didn't even really get it, and now they show up and they just want comic books. We want this thing to grow.
Even then, bro, no Johnny come latelys, bro. You had a chance to pick a side. There's been battle lines drawn for well over 3, 4, 5 years. You know that? There's been a line in the fucking sand for a long time. And not one of these motherfuckers had the balls to cross it because they were scared Mama DC and Mama Marvel wouldn't send them a fucking check. So now what I say, they can all fucking die in the fucking plague lands, is what I fucking say. You know that?
Totally agreed on the creators, dude.
Now,
is
there are a handful of people who we are kind of buddies with and pals who are, we kind of already know are sympathetic to Comicsgate and they're already on our radar. That's one thing, right? Like you brought up Frege. No problem with Frege. We like Frege. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's always been supportive of CG.
He's a great dude. So I'm not talking about him at all. I'm talking about now every one of these motherfuckers who all of a sudden ain't got a paycheck from Mama Marvel or Mama DC want to come asking for Comicsgate's fucking money. You know that? That ain't fucking happening. The war campaign will fucking rampage once again. Like, no. Like, don't get it fucking twisted, man. We just spent the last 2 fucking years gatekeeping the trash out of this motherfucker and kind of getting it to where we can actually do business and it actually be fucking normal and a pleasant place around this motherfucker without someone trying to sabotage each other. And now you were just going to let in any fucker who wants to fucking waltz in here who ain't got the goddamn job. That's not how that works. You know that? It's a little different, man. So, say what you want about the war campaign. You motherfuckers have been putting this shit on us for years now, saying we're gatekeeping. And then you asked us to gatekeep, and now we're going to fucking do it. So, that's the end of the discussion.
Fuck yeah. Hell, war campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for Comicsgate, we're just going to keep on trucking, making awesome comics. Adam was talking about, local comic book shops. Most of them have a consignment area. If you have your book, want to, go to there and drop some books off and talk to the owner of the place. They do that all the time. I know here in Chicago, there's most of them have the ability to do that. But what's going to happen after, if places open back up? Are they going to want more local comic, self-published stuff? Who knows?
I mean, why not?
Yeah, sure. Especially if Diamonds doesn't start putting out comics again,
I smell a fucking Trojan horse from the industry is what I smell. I smell deals in the works in the back, and they're going to try to buy out fucking Comicsgate. That's what I fucking smell.
We already noticed that there's some of them already starting coming to Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Jim Lee tested the ground with the big bag there. They did a few things with Marvel too, so I wouldn't be surprised that
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I totally anticipate it. And fuck all those fuckers. I'm just saying when it comes to comic book readers, comic book fans, then fucking they're going to be looking for something to fill that gap. And that's what Comicsgate needs to do.
Yeah. And I
You
think Matt.
don't get Comicsgate if you're Jim Lee.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. Steve was talking a little bit about this before we went live, and I missed the stream this morning. But did any of you happen to catch EVS's his short list of pros that I guess that he would welcome?
No, I was half asleep listening to that.
You know what, man?
It's a real fucking short list.
I hope so, because, dude, I'm just telling you. Never mind. I'm not. You already just heard what I said.
No,
so.
I feel you get it's.
We're here.
I understand.
Well, that's
Yeah, I mean yeah.
that's- I don't specifically remember. He had 3 or 4 guys that are like, yeah, this guy we could be cool with, and I didn't disagree with. I mean, hell, Caesar, and also, yeah, I think Ed McGuinness was maybe one. I think Ed McGuinness's art is great, and I've never seen Ed McGuinness poke his thumb in the eye of a consumer. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but
but
that's not
there's
the
only,
point, though. That's not even the fucking point, though. That's not the fucking point at all. All of a sudden, they ain't getting a fucking paycheck. Now, all of a sudden, they want to be CG. That don't sound very fucking hardcore to me.
Right. It's,
what I'm getting at is you
Sounds
remember
like a paycheck hunting motherfucker to me.
You remember how much Ty loved fucking what's his face, fucking Donnie Cates.
Yeah.
Everybody in Comicsgate a year ago. I mean, I don't know, my chronology might be off a little bit, but everybody liked Donnie Cates, and then Donnie Cates wanted to fucking run his mouth and be like, "Fuck that shit. What they're doing is stupid." That's and it's like if Donnie Cates would have taken the goodwill that he had by keeping his mouth shut a year ago and parlayed that into a crowdfunding campaign, he probably would have enjoyed tremendous success. But he's definitely spent a year or better, bad mouthing Comicsgate. Is Comicsgate going to embrace that guy? No, fuck no. Like Gat says, war campaign will fucking, it ain't going to happen,
I foresee everything's going great right now. Comicsgate itself is kind of building itself up from the inside. Dude, you don't fix what ain't broken, is what I'm telling you.
No, we were just talking about Dan Frega. He did a stream earlier, and he was talking about he ended it early because he had to send out some emails. He said because he's kind of working with getting on a new creative team for Black Flag because some of his guys that he usually works with are afraid that since he's CG now, that they're going to have some sort of stigma on them, and they don't want to work on Black Flag with them.
Yeah, it's some guys bow out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've been there, man. I've had some colors tip out on me, but that's cool because he's like, you roll with the punches, and the universe
hopefully
works in mysterious ways. So
hopefully he can get some
it.
people already within Comicsgate then to actually work on that. How
like
fucking cool would that be?
It sounded like maybe something like that's happening. So.
I mean that's where I think you can actually separate the men from the boys, as it were. Because I'm with Gat. Like I'm very leery about just letting in like any Tom, Dick, and Harry who wants to make a fucking buck because they're not getting a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But say Ed McGuinness wants to come over here and hire Gat as a writer to write such and such, IP that he's got working on in his head. Well then. Kind of instantly, I'm like, all right, Ed McGuinness he's what's up. I mean, that's cool. He's willing to hire Comicsgate talent to work with him.
That makes more sense. You're grabbing an oar at the very least, right?
Exactly. He's not just coming over here saying, hey, I'm going to do this book. Boom, here's my book. I'm Comicsgate. He's coming over, and this is me spitballing here. If any, Ed McGuinness was my example. If any of them, would want to come over this way and actually hire Comicsgate talent, hire Comicsgate writers, Comicsgate inkers, Comicsgate colorists like Spartan Scotsman, you know, guys that are already over here. They want to utilize the talent that we have because obviously we do have fucking talent. We've got talent coming out of our assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they want to utilize that, then I say that's a little bit different story. If you know, if Brett fucking Booth, asshole, was to be like, oh yeah, I'm Comicsgate now. Buy my book because I'm Comicsgate. No, fuck you. I already know you've run your mouth too many times. And you know he's bringing in such and such writer that nobody else has heard of. It's his buddy or whatever. Then I say fuck no. But if these guys from the mainstream do want to come over, then I say they have to hire Comicsgate talent to work with them.
Yep. Well, there you go. I think there's
so many issues here, dude. It's the problem. There's so many fucking issues here.
Well, there again, I think there's a bit of a line between the fans, the consumers, and then the creators. The creators, I ain't having it. Fans and consumers, I want all of those. So
Vinny Art says, Adam, I like your train of thought, but I don't know if they would hire us like that. I think they just try to bring in more of their boys in.
well, yeah, that is what they'll try to do, Vinny.
Work. This is why I'm saying when you start bringing in 4 or 5 new guys, right, and they're
none of the same mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just don't. They're not invested in this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
They wasn't at the battle of the fucking back hole. You know what I mean? They wasn't at that shit. Right?
Exactly, brother. Yeah. Fuck that shit.
And Raid DC stream with fucking Cecil leading the fucking charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just little shit like that. They don't, dude. I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm just telling you how I think most customers of Comicsgate are going to be leery of any new guy coming in because they've been burned by Mike. They've been burnt by.
Yeah, you'd have to be crazy not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, we've like you said, we've been burned too many times to just let anybody come in like that. I mean, and usually when we get burned hard by it.
Well,
I want to see the guys who are already here, the talent that we've already got, succeed to the highest fucking level and leave all the fucking naysayers and shit talkers in the fucking dust. That's what I want to see.
For sure.
Vault says, Art City Comics, my talent does not come out of my butt, dude. Well, some people's talent does come out of their butt. Wooster says, if you want to be in CG, you have to support the network as it helps you. Yeah, that's essentially the point that I was kind of getting at.
That's the network, man. It's got to work like clockwork, as well as people pushing you forward. You got to push the system forward.
Yeah, Vinny Art again. He says they weren't shit on, ripped off, and kept down for years and years. We were. Yeah, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know more than anybody, brother.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys,
Vinny
I gotta
run that fucking gamut.
I gotta take off, but it was great talking with all you guys and hail the chat.
Hail Phil, thank you for dropping by. It was good to have you on tonight. Yeah. Everybody in the chat, make sure you back Magic Cop. It is coming soon.
Yeah. See you guys.
And go send to the Lost Pages.
Oh yeah. Wilberforce says that we don't need any more Dougs. That's for sure. Yeah.
Nope. Norse Millers.
Yeah, God. Those two are bad enough as it is. We definitely don't need any more of them. I just happened to find this here. Apparently DC is already trying to kind of corner what we've been doing for quite a while now. They have announced daily live stream events featuring interviews and fan Q&As with creators. Well, we do that every fucking day, multiple times a day. You guys are late to the fucking game.
So yeah, it goes back to what we were saying before, and Gat said too. They're changing their model, and they're coming in here.
They're even calling it DC Daily Live. Sounds an awful lot like Comicsgate Live to me.
They're probably going to be doing that on like a little part on YouTube than the big shows on their streaming, right?
Let's see. If you're looking for a way to fill some time in your afternoon, either due to shelter-in-place order or out of non-COVID-19 related boredom, DC has a few things planned to cover you. Starting at blah, blah, blah. Publisher will be holding daily live streams and events on Instagram. Instagram, of all places. I guess that's probably where they have the biggest following. I'd imagine, anyway. Says, in addition, following the hour-long DC Daily Live, DC Universe subscribers will have the opportunity to attend live Q&A sessions with the featured creators by accessing through the streaming services community board. So if you want the full scoop, you've got to have the subscription to that DC Universe, which is worthless. I had that when it first came out, and I didn't use it very much. And then the other week, I really wanted to watch some of the old Batman animated series shows, so I did a free trial underneath a different email address, and man, it's just it's a shit. So there's no movies on there, like no live action movies hardly whatsoever, and they're animated movies that I haven't seen. They're all fucking trash apparently. They used to do so good with their animated movies, but they have definitely dropped off on those.
Yeah, ever since The Dark Knight Return, I would say.
Yeah, I watched Hush. My God, that was bad.
Dude, they changed the ending. I told you it was shit, right?
Dude, it was total shit. They changed half of everything about that.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the story of Hush, right, Gat?
No.
Hush, it ends up that it was like an old friend of Bruce Banner, right? That was like
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. That ended up being bad, and it set up like it was one of his worst enemies that they came up with, right? It was the Jim Lee coming to DC at the same time.
Okay.
So they did a movie, and they changed the entire origin and who Hush is. It's just Scarecrow now.
Yeah, they really bought. It was the Hush graphic novel. It was 12 issues done by Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. Amazing storytelling. Great fucking story all across the board. One of my favorite Batman stories of all time.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of those that I was always like, man, I wish they'd do a movie out of this. Like, I'd love to see this, put into action. And then they finally did, and it was fucking atrocious. Yes. My God, they found every way they could to botch that story up.
They killed his best friend. That was like the buildup of everything was, you were discovering a bit more about him and one of his best friends, right? So it was making you discover more about Bruce Wayne. It was really well done, except in the animated movie they killed him off in less than 5 seconds, and then hey, we'll give you a suspense, and nobody's got like a Shyamalan type of twist, right?
Oh yeah,
you were thinking this, and we just killed him off. You're shocked now, right? Now you wonder who it's gonna be, and then they reveal it's just it's Scarecrow on some special drug, and yeah.
Wow.
Lame.
That's a letdown.
They had real ownership instead of a phone company. Yeah, DC would just install Loeb as the EIC, and then they'd have something.
Loeb does, from what I know, he's contracted with Marvel, like their television brand.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Like I know he was working. He was working as producer or writer on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that Marvel was doing.
Yeah.
So DC definitely missed that boat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, either DC or Marvel if it was still. I mean, I don't know. I think the ship sailed. I think both of those planes are perilously low to hit in the mountain.
And personally, I stopped buying
Loeb
DC
would have a good move a few years back.
Yeah, Kamara says, LOL, they're 3 years too fucking late.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
Yeah,
it started 3 years ago.
Yeah, they kind of, I mean, the last time I was on a DC live stream on YouTube, there was, I usually get
say they didn't know about
live viewers.
Right? They can't say they didn't know about it, that they just now heard about it. Fuck this shit.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
Zero says, how many message deleted will be in the pro chat?
Everyone will be banned, dude. Now that I know this is happening, I'm going to tell the guys. It's going to be a fun time.
just get in there and bomb the fucking live streams.
Yeah.
That's all right. We got alts out the ass, man. Can't stop our army of alts.
Well, that's true. They don't know this game. That's what I'm saying. Dude, it's so complicated. This whole fucking... This shit is more complicated than what they think. You know what I mean?
It is. It really is. Black Daddy goes, fuck yeah. Hey, we got Drew, a.k.a. Mr. E, in the chat. Hail, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, bro.
Wooster says, I hope Cecil is in that stream. I
We
mean,
led the charge last time.
Yeah,
speaking of alts, why are there so many dislikes? Do I have dislikes on this stream?
Yeah, you have 12 dislikes.
That's yeah. I've picked up the same troll that Shay has because I was on with her and Alaz on that movie stream.
Really?
So now he's trolling me as well. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's interaction. So thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate
the
it.
algorithm, brother. Hell,
Yeah, you're helping me. Booster says graded 0.5 had those too.
Oh yeah.
He must be getting around. I'm flattered actually. Like, thank you for taking the time to come in here with all your friends or alts, whatever it may be, and give me those downvotes because it does help with interaction. So I do appreciate it.
12. Ain't that the number? 11, 12. Same 11 or 12 haters.
It's
circulating
12 to anywhere between 12 and 18. So that's why I'm not sure if it's just alt or if it's somebody with alts and a following of other trolls. But
It gives one fuck. Same old disgruntled haters and antis circling back around.
yeah, it is. It is what it is. We got Adam Post in the chat also. Hail Adam Post. How you
Hell,
doing
Adam
tonight?
Post.
Hell, boss.
He's hailing every one of us individually. Steve, Die, other, Adam,
I'm not quite sure how to
Sim
read
guy.
that.
Goodness Christ, dude.
I'm just going to gloss over it.
Hell, Adam.
Yeah, he must be
Welcome to
having
the
some
show.
issues getting off a Wanger stream. Well, did you guys have anything else you wanted to wrap up on?
I'll say this in conclusion: Comicsgate holds all the cards in their hand. The industry is at our mercy. I expect them to come begging. I expect them to come with these sweetheart deals, and I expect them to try to figure this out on their own as well, and they're going to fail.
Speaking of
This is
sweetheart
what-
deals, what's that old catchphrase, Gat?
What?
Comicsgate ain't your...
Oh, Comicsgate, your side bitch. Yeah, interrupt my train of thought, Steve. Now I don't know what the hell I was going to say. Oh, yeah, now I do. So, yeah, in conclusion, like I said, we hold all the cards. Like, Comicsgate is king now. We won the war. They are actually dead, and we are still alive moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we technically win. I don't know if they're going to be resurrected. They could resurrect the whole fucking retarded thing in 2-3 months. You know that? But right now, we won. And we're going to keep winning, and we're going to move forward. And I think we need to put our heads down, not let none of this shit affect us, not worry about what the fucking industry's doing, because I don't give two fucks what they're doing. They can fucking die in the plague lands, like I said, right? And we need to do our thing in Comicsgate. And we got all the fucking shit lined up perfectly. We got Jumpstart coming out, big announcement on Vestige 2. Everyone show up for Drawn and Backhole tomorrow. We're going to show you actually the first page of Vestige 2. How about that?
Holy fuck, dude.
It's already being drawn. It's fucking. We're moving fast on this thing.
Fucking spoilers.
Pre-spoilers.
And we're revealing we're doing the cover artist. We're revealing the artist tomorrow. We're going to draw Vestige. It's going to be cowgirl titties everywhere.
Hail cowgirl titties.
Hell.
Yep.
It's my kind of spoiler.
I'm telling you, man, this really is. This is our watershed moment right here. This whole shit with Diamond and the main DC Marvel printers shutting down. This is it. This is our chance to really overtake them.
And now the only resolve that they have is coming to try and play in our playground, and we've been
on our
Yeah,
turf.
that's the thing.
in our turf, and we've been building and working this for over 3 years. So
Yeah,
and
so
like
fucking
Gat
let
said,
'em
war campaigns
try.
waiting for them.
Yep. They never met work. I mean, they met us a couple times, right? But just wait, brother. It's going to be glorious.
Yes. It's
Hail to
grab your
that.
popcorn and do books. Let's create that market. Let's flood that market, and put as many books as we can. They're the best that we can.
Yeah, while they're all flailing, you got fucking Gail Simone out there doing her writing class bullshit, which is god awful laughable. Brett Booth's out there, he is spurging out hardcore about the the shops closing down and screaming about how people are willing to spend $25 on a 48-page comic, but $3 for 20 pages of digital is too much. Because the $3 digital is gonna save the comic shops, obviously. You know, it's this is it. This is our moment to take them out, knock them down, basically just keep doing what we're already doing, because the eyes are gonna come to us. Fans are gonna get hungry for content. We're gonna have that content. That's how we win.
Yeah.
So. In closing, like I said, make sure you go out and get your copy of Vestige before it closes. Get that Caesar cover before it goes away forever. Make sure you back Blood Hunt as well. I dropped the link for that in the chat. Links in the description. It's closing in just about a week. And then printing in April, fulfilled right after that. If you have not backed it, you really fucking should, because it's going to blow your mind. Up to 72 fucking pages, because Sim won't stop drawing pages.
Come on, you agreed with me, and Steve did too. When I said, like, come on, I'm at the end, I'm in the action scene. I'm like, I want to grab those extra 4 pages of the 10K right away and put them in there. And you
You're
both
cut
went,
off, so.
fuck yeah.
It was
sorry.
a
Am I
smart
good?
move. It was a smart move. And I would still like to see you hit 10K before this thing closes in the next week. I really think we can do it. We can push this book right through that 10K mark.
Yeah. And if we get to 10K, everybody gets a free sketch card with it. But not everybody. Every physical book backer.
Yeah, and you think Sim doesn't sleep now. If the book reaches 2K or 10K in the next week, he's got to draw 150 to 200 sketch cards.
Mm-hmm.
He won't ever fucking sleep. He's got all his Jumpstart shit done, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his files are actually in. I don't even really know how to approach him anymore. He used to just be like, where's your shit? But now it's like,
All right, good.
Okay, I guess you're done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your Blood
Well,
Hunt done.
temporarily, he's still got to draw people in, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got to do the drawn in tier.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. And he's got to bring Blood Hunt to the finish line, and he's going to be right back on Crash Course. So, you know, you just keep those vampire hours rolling, Sam.
Yeah, and continue, continue working on that Demerc and setting up my next projects.
This is your life now, brother.
Yes.
It is. Well, Hail Brothers, thank you guys for coming on and shooting the shit with me tonight. I know we were a little bit different than we normally do here on CG Jumpstart, but like I said, when we started, we had some actual shit to discuss. You know, some actual news has happened the past couple days, and I felt like it needed to be addressed.
Yeah, we'll get back to pimping the merch, but big happenings.
We will. Like Kat said,
sometimes it's time to have some shop talk, and just point out some things and bring some things to attention to the others, and like the printing and all those little issues. We need to discuss those things too.
That's true. Yeah. So everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Drawn and Backhold over on the War Campaign. I'm assuming D Live is where the real shenanigans will take place.
Yep.
And Vestige is the topic. It is going to be the topic all week as GAT moves into fulfillment. And then hopefully next Tuesday when we come back, we will have a pre-campaign page set up for everybody to take a look at. Until then,
let's try.
Yeah, hey, you got your workload. So I'll keep my fingers crossed, but I won't hold my breath.
And you'll see when you open the pre-launch. You know how the pre-launch page. It's just put for image, and you're ready to go. You don't need to fill the campaign at all.
Yeah,
that's true. You can kind of bare bones that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, hail the motherfucking chat, and we'll see you next time.
Hail, brothers. Hail the chat.
CG 2020.